Alright, hello everyone. We are back. Hole number 6 we're about to do here. Revision for 6. Now, if you do have these snowman balls, this is what I'm going to recommend for this shot. Whether you have, say, Thor 5, Pak 5, Pak 6, those are going to be kind of all balls, all clubs that you can, get down kind of where you want. Extra mile 8, extra mile 7 even maybe. You can kind of get all down to the same spot. The way I'm going to do this video, just because, I understand that there's probably a lot of guys who might not have the snowball. I do believe that I did Berserker yesterday, and I'm going to do a revision on that because I was kind of unhappy with the landing zone. Plus, I think it benefits you to land a little bit shorter. I think the albatross opportunity is going to be easier if you hit the ball shorter. So that's what you're going to see me set up to do here, is play it a little bit differently than what I did. And just see where the group's at. Okay. I think I set my driver. What's my 3-wood on? Oh, I don't even know why I'm thinking 3-wood, but I could hit the rough and run out and need a 3-wood, so definitely keep that in mind. Pick a short iron that you're comfortable with, whether it's Hornet, Claw, or Thorn. No, not really important. We're not going to go for a backspin shot here. We're going to do more of a front spin shot. That's the way that I always play this hole. It releases pretty well off the front slope of this hole, so that's one of the biggest reasons that I use it. Plus I don't really like going for the the backspin shot for a hole out unless it's absolutely necessary. You end up putting the ball higher, more into the wind, and especially on tailwinds like this, where launching it can be a little bit of a threat, and then getting it to not backspin. Kind of the worst thing that you can ever do is backspin it and leave it right on the lip of the cup because it doesn't quite backspin into the cup. And that's something that I see happen quite a bit. And there you see, what was that? Kingmaker? So you can kind of see where you're looking at landing. And the wind is up a little bit higher today. So, I'm even hesitant to, let me see his wind angle. See, his wind angle is going to be very good. You can see the next wind is going to be pointed right down at the hole. I do want to go at this with a Titan, but maybe I can back off and just use a Katana, because I'm a little hesitant about the power. I know it's going to land very close to that bunker. So either a Katana or Kingmaker will probably land kind of similarly. So here you just see me I'm even backing off this power a little bit. I don't know if you can tell. I'm just coming off it just a tiny bit, just to try to entice the ball to not land in that sand. But, we got one of the better winds that you can get, and I just want to, kind of point that out to you. You can see I didn't quite get down here as far as this other guy, so he's going to have even a much better chance than I am going to have. And if I was able to, spin that out to the right a little bit more, that's kind of what I would suggest, just so you can kind of get this wind angle. Like I said, he has a very great angle into the hole. This is the way that I really recommend that you do it, is, front shot. Doing the backspin shot to me doesn't make a lot of sense, but it can also be made. But it just doesn't make sense to me because you kind of over complicate an easy shot. So, I just like this straightforward approach as kind of the most reliable option, and I make a lot of these pitches this way. So, and here you can see I still almost got a straight wind, which means the winds are a little bit tilted. And how much backspin I use has to do with what part of the club I'm at. There you see is max. I'm kind of mid-club here, but you can see I want that third hop to be right in front of the cup, and that's the way you see me setting up here. At mid-club, I'm going to need to go right around 4 rings, so that's what you're going to see me do here. 4-ring adjustment. Oh, geez, my timing is just crap today. But you get the idea. That third hop, you want to land right in front or right on the cup. One or the other. It looks like my ball was coming in a little bit hot. So, 4 rings might not quite have been enough. It might have needed 4.5. That's one of the reasons that you always kind of size it up. I could tell I was pretty close to mid-club. I was a little bit on the longer, but anytime you're pulling back, keep that in mind that you're pulling more towards mid-club. And my timing has been absolute crap. I think for this video, for the revisions, I've already missed 2 short irons to great balls. Gave them no chance, so a little unfortunate to have my timing issues right now. I feel like my needle's kind of jumping a little bit there. Right on that one, it seemed to have hesitated and kind of slowed down for whatever reason. Maybe I need to restart my phone. But, I feel like I kind of jumped the gun at the same time. But, I do feel like that needle was kind of acting a little bit slow coming back at the same time. But, good luck with that 6th hole. I think you will easily be able to make the pitch there, as opposed to bombing it down there and having kind of a weird side-ish wind wedge. The short iron shot is going to be a little bit more automatic, especially once you get the adjustments down and can kind of size the shot up. And like I said, you can't always use 3 backspin, for example. It's going to depend on if you're at max club or you're at min club. It's going to be based off of how far you drive the ball. So the farther you drive it, the shorter those hops are going to be. And you might need to take off some of the backspin if you're at min club. But the opposite's going to happen if you're at max club. So if you have more of a max club, thorn or claw or whatever, then the hops are going to be a little bit bigger. You might need to, crank it up to 4 backspin. And, on the low end, it might be as low as 2 backspin. I do recommend, picking a good spot. The fringe does react as a very good spot for that pitch. I've made that albatross so many times, whether it be, tour 11, tour 6, doesn't matter. It's the pitch can be very straightforward, and I have always used the fringe for the most part, unless I get in there super close and it's like right at min club, then I start to use the green. But using that fringe can be a very reliable source. So since the target's at least 3 rings wide, that's kind of where I would set up for a downwind pitch, just so you don't have to crank the backspin up too much. Because your average case, if you take all the average times you hit a drive there, you would maybe need 5 backspin, which might start to keep the ball from running out into the cup. If you crank it up to 5 by putting it onto the green, that might be the only way that you land it in front of the hole if you get it to a certain spot. So that's why you kind of need to pick the fringe as your surface. So good luck with that 6th hole. There's been a lot of albatrosses already on it, and like I said, I kind of given you this method as kind of the most reliable way to get it. I do it all the time, that same method. So good luck there, and see you guys for hole 7 shortly.